Hey there, everybody. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Tally Faye. It's Friends with Faye Day, y'all. We're starting out a series on it. I'm so excited about this. We're going to start out a series on gumbo. I've got 3 different videos I'm going to be making on these gumbo recipes. And I have 3 different people coming each time. But this right here is one of my good girlfriends. This is Amy.
Hi.
Compion.
Yes, ma'am.
And she is a Cajun-born girl, so she's going to make our first recipe for me, and it's going to be Cajun gumbo, okay? We're going to start out with that, and I've got all kind of questions for Amy as we work through this thing. Are you excited, huh?
I probably have answers.
Yeah. So we are going to get started with what all she's going to do in it. Tell us first a little bit what all you, just run through it, what you do with yours as far as the ingredients.
This is chicken and sausage. It's my favorite gumbo. It's the only gumbo that I make. I will try other gumbos, but this is one I'm used to. And I put the Holy Trinity in it. Bell peppers, onions, and celery. I use 2 links of andouille sausage.
Look, the andouille sausage, y'all. You see that? Do y'all know what the Holy Trinity is? She said that, but this is always the Holy Trinity, and I've heard that before. You got bell pepper, onion, and celery. And that's going to be the thing that goes in there like that, okay? But anyway, she's got her andouille sausage, Holy Trinity, and what else, girl?
Chicken thighs. I use...
Okay, explain how, your modern day thing on that. Tell a little bit about your grandma.
So...
Speak up where they can hear you.
Okay. I would imagine my great-grandmother, we called her Moo Moo, went out and got a hen and boiled it and used that chicken. I'm not going to do that. I got a package of chicken thighs, usually comes with 6 or 8. The thighs are a little richer, have a little more fat on them, don't cut it off. And I cheat and I cook it in the Instant Pot first, and then I save a little bit of the broth because it's basically just grease.
Fat in there, chicken fat.
Thigh,
yeah.
So I cook it in a little bit of broth. Also use this. I put about 2 tablespoons in 4 cups of water. I cook it in my Instant Pot on the meat setting.
Okay, you do this you put this in your Instant Pot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just the regular old chicken bouillon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And cook those thighs and get them tender and stuff. How many? Okay, for this size pot, how much basically is this a thing that you're going to make today? I mean, how much does this feed? If somebody's saying I need to feed X number of people.
I can feed 4 people for about 3 days with this because they'll have 1 bowl at a time. Unless it's Junior and Carter, and I can feed them for 2 days. Just them.
Okay, the best thing you know is it's going to make this pot.
This is my granny's Magnalite. You have to have this pot.
She loves the Magnalite. I've got a big one. Yeah. Okay, good. Good deal. All right.
Really, this is the pot that I learned how to cook gumbo in, so I don't think I would know how to make more or less. Does that make sense?
Right. This is this is what you make when you make it.
It's when I make my roux, I know exactly how much flour and exactly how much oil this pot needs to make a perfect roux.
To make Amy's Cajun style gumbo. There we go.
Don't test me with another pot. I can't do it.
All right, I'm going to get up close and let her show us. First, we got to do some chopping. She's going to go ahead and... So, she's going to chop these up. I tell you what, we'll get these chopped up. Y'all don't need to watch us do that because this is probably going to be a long video.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We'll do the chopping on this stuff and be right back after we get everything chopped up. Okay, y'all. Here we go. The first step Amy's going to do, look, I want you to see, she cut her sausage in the little circles. See? About yay size. Okay? And that's the 2 sticks of your andouille sausage, right?
Sausage, yes.
Okay, first things first. What?
I'm going to just scorch it. I like it a little bit crunchy around the rims. This is quite a bit of sausage in this pan. This is very controversial. A lot of people don't do this first, but I'm going to scorch the heck out of my sausage. Then I'm going to scoop it out, put it right back in this bowl, and I'm going to sweat my veggies down in those drippings and set all that aside. And then once I get my roux right where I want it, I'm going to dump it all in there.
Compared to what? You're saying Why? Okay, you're saying you do it this way. What's the way you're saying that people do it in the big pan or something?
Some people will do it in the big pan first, but I don't like the consistency that it gives my roux. I like a clean, smooth roux when I start, and then you add it all in there after the fact.
Your roux done. So the first thing we're going to do is get your sausage done, and all your veggies you got cut up. Which that was, how many sticks of celery was that?
I do 3 sticks of celery, 1 whole bell pepper, and it was almost an onion, but Tony Jr. cut a piece off for his fish the other night. So it was so close. It was
Minus the fish piece for Junior.
Yes.
Okay, so you got your bell pepper, 3 sticks of celery, and a whole onion. Cut up and ready. But you're going to do this in your sausage drippings,
my sausage drippings,
which is one of your different steps you do with yours.
I just think it adds a little bit more fat, and it gets my veggies really tender. I don't like a crunch on my vegetables in my gumbo.
Okay.
I really like the crispy sausage to be the only thing that's crispy.
Okay. All right, we're going to get this sausage done, and then we'll drop those veggies in there.
Ooh, it's going to be good, too.
I know it is. I don't have any doubt, girl.
Get excited.
I'm excited. Yep. It's the little things. That's what I tell them. It's the little things. Okay, let's get this sausage done. All right, so they're ready, y'all. Look. Okay, Amy, I want to show them.
Look. Okay, see those crispy edges right there? That's the only chew I want in my gumbo. Oh, it's going to be so good. And look at all that fat. We're going to use that to get those veggies soft. Very translucent.
Okay, so this is the stage you want them fried, your andouille sausage. Now, tell them about... Amy's loving it, man.
I got it.
I'm
going to eat that one.
Now, I said something about the andouille sausage a while ago. What andouille? What's that mean? Is that Cajun sausage or what?
It is Cajun. You can get it in levels of spices, kind of like hot, mild, and super hot. This is just a plain, like a regular. It's a little bit of a spice, but it's got all the Cajun spices in it. So to me, it adds another depth of flavor to the gumbo.
So is the spice level or the heat level a choice?
Yes, heat level of choice, and I just got regular. Sort of like breakfast sausage. You can get hot, mild, or regular. I just get regular.
And the regular's good because you're just mainly looking for the spice in there, not so much the pepper hot thing.
Yes, I want the flavor for sure. And all that grease is going to be what adds all the flavor to
Gotta have fat, girlfriend.
Yes. We're not going to put it all in the gumbo, but there's going to be levels of it throughout the cooking. Obviously, we got it in the sausage because we cooked it. We're going to get it in the veggies, and we're going to put like a teaspoon in it. When
I see, but that's why you want to do your veggies in your sausage grease to get some more of that flavor into your veggies and cook them to the point or whatever that you want them to. Where they soften.
Perfection. Yeah. The point of perfection. That's what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to scoop this out, and then I'm going to drop my veggies in there. And it's going to be beautiful.
There's probably something else over there to pick them up if you want.
Oh, look at here. Look at all these choices.
Dig around in there. You'll find something got some holes in it if you want.
Yeah, we don't want to
There you go.
We don't want to save too much of that grease out. It's the whole point. This is a very oily dish. Don't be fooled. When I make my roux, you're going to see that I use flour and oil. I don't use butter for my roux.
Oh, yeah. You said that earlier about butter, that a lot of people like to use butter. However, your reasoning for that is what now?
The butter burns. The butter burns real quick. You can do a mixture of oil and butter. I'm not good at it. I'm going to burn the butter.
Yeah.
So, know your limits. I know I'm going to burn the butter, so...
You just stick with your oil then.
And for this particular pan, which is very important, I always make my
Look at that booger. It's seasoned. Is that not a gumbo pot if I ever seen one? Look at that.
Ooh, Sean. So, I use 1 cup of flour and 3/4 of a cup of oil because, I'm watching my figure. And all this other stuff has grease in it.
All right. Ooh, it's smoking.
Here we go. We're smoking. It's going to be so good. It smells like Granny's now. It's my favorite.
I love it, girl.
Pretty. I did 3 sticks of celery, 1 whole bell pepper, nearly a whole onion.
There you go. Now it's in your sausage grease, and you're going to sweat them down.
I'm going to sweat it down. It probably takes about 20 minutes. So
Okie doke.
see you in a minute.
Looking good, y'all. All right, messes are for being cleaned up. Don't be worrying about it, girl.
Okay. I was trying to get it off camera.
Y'all look. See? Look at the peppers. That's something important, isn't it, Amy? That you're trying to, you wanted to get that bright color out of them. If they're still bright, keep cooking them. But you don't want your onions to burn. You're sweating these. You're not browning them.
Right.
It's just, you're sweating them. But the bright green color has to come out of your bell pepper and celery in there. And your onions are translucent. So, and look, we got just the right amount of fat in there. While you're taking that up, you can, that's what we're going to explain about your roux thing.
I was telling Tally I am not going to drain this grease. Don't be watching your figure today. So a roux is a 1-to-1.
Meaning?
A cup of flour to a cup of oil, or a half a cup of flour to a half a cup of oil, depending on how much you're making. A roux is 1-to-1.
1-to-1. Whatever you use is the basic rule in making your roux. So
I am using 1 cup of flour and 3/4 of a cup of oil because I'm not draining this grease.
Because you're going to use your grease from your andouille sausage and sweated veggies. Ooh, look at them, girl.
Look at that.
I could get a spoon and eat them just like that.
And dump it right on top of that sausage. Some of these onions are, when they start to brown like that, you're going to know. You've got faded bell peppers. You almost can see through your celery. And some of those onions are a little bit
just
brown.
On the edges a little.
Perfect.
Yep.
I can't teach y'all how to do that. I can't tell you exactly how many minutes. It just depends on your fire.
You have to learn how to eyeball that.
I have burnt a pan of veggies and started over. I have burnt a roux and started over.
It
I
happens.
made my 3rd roux crying because I burnt it twice. But it's fine. Everything's fine. You just start over.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, and now we're about to get started on the roux, which is the most important part.
Okay.
Of gumbo.
You can just set that over there out the way, girl. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. I don't think I can. You're gonna have to do this.
Oh, okay.
Just turn the burner on and just click it. There you go. All right, now you're there.
Oh, yeah.
You go, girl. All right. We're getting the roux pot going.
Oh, I love my granny's pot. Okay, I pre-measured because for travel.
Right.
1 cup of flour.
Right.
And my 3/4 a cup of oil.
1 cup of regular all-purpose flour and 3/4 cup like vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever.
Yes. I don't think it matters. I always have jugs of vegetable oil.
Yeah. That's me.
Junior fries a lot.
Yeah.
So he buys it in those big jugs, and then 1 cup of flour. I should have measured it out, but I'm telling you, I measured it at home. It's 1 cup of flour and 3/4.
That's all we need to know, that you're putting a cup of flour in there to 3/4 of a cup of oil because you're using your sausage grease that you cooked in. Otherwise, they would use a
1-to-1.
Yeah, 1-to-1 on it.
Okay, now pay attention to the color of this once I get the oil and the flour mixed, because the color of your roux and the smell is very terribly important. Right now, when I'm first mixing it up, when that flour gets real hot, it's going to start to smell kind of nutty, I guess is how you explain the smell of hot flour. Yeah. And the color will go from this, which is a real light creamy color. When you get to peanut butter, you're really, really close. Don't stop stirring. Do not ever stop stirring your roux.
But peanut butter's the color, huh?
No, chocolate is the color.
Oh, but you're saying peanut butter color.
You tell everybody to be quiet and pay attention.
Yeah.
You gotta just stir. Like, don't talk to me. I'm busy. I'm making a roux. We're not gonna flavor this at all right now. All we're worried about
is browning.
Is mixing in this flour with this oil. You gotta keep it moving off the bottom of this pan, especially when it gets to peanut butter. When it gets to that color, don't be still. You're gonna notice that the consistency changes. The way when you scrape it across the pot, it takes a little bit longer for it to come back together in the river. That's very important. Because when it gets so fast that you can't scrape it through the pot and see the bottom because it's coming back together, you're almost there.
Okay, see, that's a great tip for learning. You know, it's hard to tell people how to, just make roux for gravy and stuff, and that's a good tip on.
You're going to have to burn a lot of them. It's practice with the level of heat, the size of your pot. I'm sorry, I got to turn this down because I don't want to burn it. So the hotter that it is, the faster your roux is going to come together.
Right.
Also, the quicker it will burn. So you got to find your happy place. Right.
That's it. That's what I tell them. Find a happy medium on there. Yep.
And see how it's bubbling? That's going to stop right about peanut butter. It's going to thicken more and more as you go. And eventually, when your grandkids start cooking, your spoon's going to be full.
Look, Amy's proud of this. Tell them about the spoon thing.
Okay, so most older Cajun women, let's say my great-grandmother, who's no longer with us, but when she was, I'm sure she cooked a lot of gumbo. And my granny did. My granny cooked a lot of gumbo. Your spoon gets flat because you move it all the time in this hot, flat pot. This is my grandmother's pot. I've seen a lot of gumbo. So your spoon's going to get flat eventually. This was much more rounded, like a regular wooden spoon.
But it flattens it off on the
Flattens it
end.
out, so
That sucker's made some roux when it's flat across the. That's so fun.
I'm excited. So don't ever put it in the dishwasher because it'll crack your spoon.
Yeah.
You don't get to that point where you're like, yes, I got a flat
your
spoon.
spoon breaks, splits before you can do that.
Yep. It's just.
Oh, fun. See, those are fun little things about your Cajun life. I love it, girl. I love it.
I was just sort of dipped my toe in it. My grandmother grew up that way in a very tiny house with 7 other siblings. One of them was a set of twins, more girls than boys. Plus my great-grandmother.
Bunch of little old Louisiana girls. Oh my goodness. And where did they live at?
New Iberia, Louisiana.
New Iberia?
New Iberia. My grandmother worked in a cafe. I have some of her tiny little creamers and sugars that she would pass
how
out.
fun.
Every customer got a little set and little teeny tiny salt and peppers. Everybody got one. I have some of those left over. She worked in a cafe. I don't know what Papa did, my great-grandfather.
Didn't you say they had, is that the ones that had the dirt floor in their house? What? No, that was your great.
It was what they called dirt floor pour, but it was actually a wood floor, and it was slanted with a hole in the corner, so when you swept and mopped, it went out the hole.
I love it.
My Uncle AJ told me that. He's one of my grandmother's brothers. Okay,
That's
I want
cool.
you to look and see, there's a couple of little, every now and then you can see that flakes of that dark brown.
Starting to pop up in there. I see that.
That's,
They're just here and there.
It's just a little bit of flour that's not mixed in with the oil yet. So, but it's still real light. It's going to happen real quick and you're going to be super surprised. Hopefully I don't burn it today and we don't have to start over. But,
you just don't stop, do
I've
you?
never cooked on tally stove, so you never know.
Exactly, and stoves and ovens are
hot.
different.
I'm going to turn it down just a touch because there's a few more of those little brown flakes than I like.
Absolutely, stoves and ovens cook different.
So this clear, beautiful beginnings of a roux is the reason I don't like to do my sausage and my veggies in this pot. Because then I can pay attention to the consistency of the roux and there's nothing, I don't
interfering with that. You're looking at pure roux and not this and that in there. I see.
And the bubbles are starting to get a different size, and it's
they are. The bubbles are getting little bitty looking now.
Yep.
It's not the big fat bubbles bursting.
It's just about to change color.
You just never stop stirring it though, do you?
Nope,
That's
never,
why,
not one
hence the flattened spoon.
And if you...
Oh, it's almost getting peanut butter. It's like almost getting there. It's kind of caramely looking right now.
See the difference in the texture?
What'd you call that? Your river?
My roux river.
Your roux river. Oh, how funny.
It matters when you can pay attention to that consistency and know that you're just that much closer. Ooh, man, it's going fast. But it's not burning. Hallelujah. Can you tell the difference in the smell? It's still a little bit nutty.
Oh, yes, I'm getting the nutty thing going on. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So the next smell that you want is about to burn.
I
I don't know how to describe that smell. But it didn't burn yet, but it's about to burn.
I love it.
That's what gumbo smells
Exciting.
like. It's about to burn.
We're gonna get some Cajun gumbo here, y'all.
Ooh, sure, it's gonna be good too. Man, that went surprisingly fast. You can do this for a very long time if you have a very low fire. If you have toddlers, you got to walk around. You just turn that sucker way down.
Yeah.
Crank it, and you go. It
And
goes
get
a little
on
bit
it.
quicker.
But whatever you do, if it's cranked, don't leave it.
I think the first year I ever started making gumbo, it took me about an hour. I stood around and cooked a roux for an hour. See how thick it's getting? Look at that. Oh.
Yep.
I'm so excited. I want to leave none of that on the side.
That's goody on that, ain't it?
Gumbo's so good. Let's get a little chunky. You're coming. Don't worry about that texture. Sometimes you'll get to the very end and it will break. I also can't explain that to you or teach it to you, but you'll know it when you see it.
By breaking, you're talking about separating
It'll all
from the,
gets kind of clumpy and chunky.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like this beautiful river roux anymore, but that's okay. When you add your broth right before you put all your veggies and stuff in there, it's gonna smooth out. Ain't no shame in using a whisk. If it breaks and you can't get it to go back in because you can't stir it fast enough or you added too much liquid, get a whisk. Break that flour up because you want it to be smooth just like this, even with the chicken broth.
Okay.
You add your chicken
Are
broth.
you saying that your grandmama and them didn't use no whiz?
No. There actually is shame.
Yeah,
But-
to them, yeah, you know.
But it's okay. My spoon's almost flat, so it's okay if I use a whisk. Look, y'all, that's peanut butter. Woo! But we're not going for peanut butter. We're going for chocolate.
Looking good, girl.
I was not raised in Louisiana, but Aaron's best friend Tabitha was, and Tabitha was telling me one time that her family has roux contests. They get together and see just how far you can take it without burning it.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not gonna do that.
How
I'm not gonna do
funny!
that. I don't want to burn it, so. Woo! Look how good.
Y'all, I know this is taking a while, but this is just, I can't
Worth
stop
it.
filming this. This is important for you to see the changes in it and what Amy's talking about. Look at that, your rivers are just staying open now when you're...
Peanut butter. This is so good. I mean, this is not good right now. It looks beautiful, but it doesn't taste good. It's flour and oil. But it will when we put all that stuff, a little bit of extra grease in there, a couple bay leaves. Once you get the roux ready to go to the point that you're gonna add everything back in it, you put that lid on, put it on low, let it simmer all together for about an hour. And then you serve it any way you'd like, but I like it a certain way.
We're going to surprise them with that, ain't we?
Yep.
They're going to be surprised. That I'm excited to show them that. That's amazing to me. I never knew that. So
I mean, any way you eat it, you better have a big old chunk of bread.
you got to have bread, huh?
It's just, I mean, just sop it all
Ooh,
up.
look at it now.
It's getting kind of chunky, not broken, but thicker, and it's dark. Look at that. Ooh, that's so good. All right. I am very thankful that you have fire. I don't think I've ever made gumbo on an electric stove, and I don't wanna. It just feels like a sin.
I can't cook on them.
I can't either.
I can't. I cannot cook on electric
Like everything
stove.
burns.
I hate trying to fry chicken on an electric
I
stove.
can't imagine.
Girl, anyway, but that, you know, hey, listen, lots of people got electric stoves and they know how to work them, so, you know.
Yes, it's definitely preference what you're used to.
Yeah.
I can't control the heat on it, so I prefer the fire, and I think this pot does too.
Absolutely, that's the one thing
It's
about
bigger
these
than
old
the bottle.
Magnalite pots, the heat distributes in them like it does in cast iron, you know.
Look at that. It's getting darker. Look at that. That's so thick and delicious. Hallelujah.
I love this quantity that you're making too, see, because I'm going, oh my word, how are we gonna, you know, I just kept thinking this gargantuan huge thing of gumbo,
Well,
and I'm thinking, oh Lord.
And I think the internet is a liar and makes you believe that everyone cooks gumbo in one of those big stock pots. To me, the surface area in the bottom is too thin and too small.
Yeah.
I can't make a gumbo.
Yeah, but it is
like
thin.
This.
The bottom of them them big old pots, is that real thin like that?
I'm gonna burn it, y'all. I know my limits. Like I said, I got some boundaries, and I ain't cooking gumbo in that little bitty pot. I gotta have this thickness. I have to have this width.
You just gotta have your grandma's pot. That's all there is to
I'm a creature
it.
of habit. Once I do it one way, I don't know how to do it any other way. I'm sorry, I'm broken. Woo, but my roux's not.
That's right.
Look how pretty that is.
Oh.
So, I would imagine that, you know, that myth or that theory of cooking came from very large families, and they probably did cook a lot.
Right, because
I would imagine they had the one pot. They boiled the chicken in the pot, or the seafood. Most of them live on the bayou. And then they took it out, and then they did their veggies and did everything in the one pot.
yeah.
My grandmother did. When she cooked it on this pot, she did everything in this pot.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that's where that came
That
from.
little sausage on the side thing is just your,
That's just me.
that's an Amy
Yes.
tip.
Oh, I love that crispy sausage. Look how pretty that is.
I know.
That's a chocolate roux. Look, it's delicious. Okay, and we're fixing to add the liquid. So when I first get it to the point I want it to be, I'm going to add 4 cups of liquid. The liquid of choice is chicken broth, and you can buy 2 of those, however many ounce, probably 32 boxes.
The cartons.
Boxes.
Yes,
of the chicken broth.
They're a little quart, so it is.
I cook a lot, so I don't have the room in my kitchen to store that. But I can store this guy, you know, and just
And that's got salt in it too.
A little bit of salt, so I don't have to salt as much.
Do you want me to get you some water in your measuring cup while you're stirring?
I need 4.
Okay,
Does that
4
sound
cups of water. How much broth? Bouillon do you have in here?
So more than likely,
Right.
that's about a tablespoon and a half, but I really just cook it twice.
Okay, 4 cups.
Yep. I want you to know the smell.
Okay.
It's ready. That's almost burnt.
Yep, and I got you on the smell part of it. I can smell that.
So the texture has changed completely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me get this little whisk and stir that bouillon up in there for you, Amy.
Okay.
Well, I got this one. I don't know.
Okay, I use a fork because I'm lazy.
Well, this will just get us by quickly.
Okay, we're gonna add this a little bit at a time. I'm gonna turn my flame down just a touch because I don't need to be steamed to death today.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
a little bit at a time.
Yep, you have to be careful during this.
The texture's gonna change several times when I add liquid. Ay, 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 just took the hide off of that hand. See how it's a little bit thicker and almost broken? This would scare a lot of people. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared, we're just cooking. You can also feel it start to stick because you are diluting the amount of oil in that pan, which keeps it from sticking. But we're adding just plain liquid, so some of it's going to stick. I got a couple hot spots on this pan, probably because it's 100 years old.
So you don't put it all in there at once. You do a little bit, stir it around.
Yeah.
Do a little bit more, stir it around.
You want to try to incorporate that flour into that amount of liquid. If you do it all at once, you're liable to get some big chunks.
It'll make it lumpy, won't it?
Make it lumpy, and you'll have to use the whisk, and you just won't feel as proud.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. There's no shame in using a whisk.
Oh, that's funny, girl.
Woo, that looks so good. You wanna look how dark it's getting over there.
You're making me laugh talking about that, about them doing those roux contests.
Yeah.
About how how close
How
they
close
can get it
you can get it
without burning it.
Man, because once you burn it, there ain't no coming
Yeah.
back. You better wash that pot and start again.
Look at this coming along beautifully.
Look at those dark spots. Oh, it smells so good too. I can't explain it. It smells like my granny's house.
You're making Granny proud.
Yep, I sure hope so. Looks like refried beans,
Yeah.
but it is Louisiana
Far
love.
from it, girl.
Mhm.
Yep,
Alright,
roux.
super close.
The
That's
other
my roux.
Louisiana love. Or actually, probably the first.
I would say. Oh man, look at that. It looks unbelievable. Like you can't believe that this would be the consistency of the liquid that it's going to be. But eventually, when you add everything in there, and I cooked my chicken ahead of time. Don't be mad, but I didn't boil the hen. I also prefer not to use a rotisserie chicken because it takes a long time to pick the chicken off, and you would have to use 2 to get the amount of meat. I prefer to use thighs, and I get the package of 6 or 8, I believe.
6 or 8 thighs.
Mm-hmm. And I use my Instant Pot.
Yep.
Cook it in chicken broth, good to go. So we're gonna shred that up, and I saved about a coffee cup and a half.
There you go. That's a
Of
good
the
guess.
liquid.
There you go. It's a good.
Coffee cup and a half of the liquid that I cooked that chicken in, because it's got a lot of fat in it from the thighs. Do not trim your chicken thighs.
Again, the
Remember?
fat is important. Just like the
Adds-
sausage fat, the chicken fat is as well. Uh-oh, there's a...
Adds to that quarter cup that we're missing, remember?
Yep.
We want to add that right in there. Look how pretty that is.
Beautiful, girl.
Isn't it? That's a chocolate roux if I ever saw one.
Beautiful. And smelling just...
Delicious. Okay, we're going to season the heck out of this before we put our stuff in it, and then we're going to let it simmer for about an hour, and then we're going to eat it.
All right. Now,
I'm gonna
first things first.
Oh. I'm not using those. I'm not using those.
Fumble.
Look, I got plenty more.
Hey, it's a tally-fay mess. We can't do it without it. Look, bay leaves, y'all.
3 bay leaves, and then that extra chunk came out, so I'm putting it in there.
There you go. Okay. Whole bay leaves. 3 of them.
Whole bay leaf, except for that.
Except, you know, a
extra
little
chunk.
piece. Okay, now, what's
Then
this?
This is garlic powder.
Garlic powder.
You can use a chunk, like a very, very large scoop, tablespoon of chopped mince, you know, that you get.
Oh,
in
of the
little
minced garlic? A big old huge heaping tablespoon, you're saying?
Yes.
Otherwise,
just use this.
just use the powder. It works. Them bay leaves ain't wanting to stay up there, girl.
What's going on?
Okay,
Is my
now-
granny mad? Do I need to add another one?
Onion powder.
Onion. All I do is dust the top. I'm gonna dust the top till you can't see the roux anymore. That's how I measure. That's probably
With your
a tablespoon.
With the garlic powder and the onion
And the
powder?
onion powder.
Okay, dust the top. That's a good, see, that helps. Dust the top till you can't see your roux anymore with it. Okay, now this is like okay, this is the
Tony's.
one she's using.
It's like a Tony's, but not.
It's
because
like Tony Chachere's.
I think Tony's is a little too salty.
Okay.
So I like
It's
this
only
one.
about the salt though, so it's that Cajun salt mixture thing or whatever, spice mixture that everybody uses, and maybe I guess you could just use your favorite as long as it's
Absolutely.
you
Any
know.
Cajun seasoning you want.
right, just the
Have at it.
Cajun seasoning going on.
Yes.
So,
I'm not gonna be mad. You can use whatever you
but just
want.
be careful if you use like the Tony's or something because it's more salty. Whatever,
Yes.
whichever one you choose, watch it because of the salt. But
Okay. Gotta be careful. Keep stirring. Don't let that roux. And then I forgot my salt crock.
Turn it.
But Tally Faye has one. Oh, look how cute that is.
Isn't that cute?
Look at her little scoop.
uh-huh.
Oh my
Isn't that
gosh.
cuteness? You don't have to use the scoop.
I'm using the scoop.
Oh, just because of the fun of it?
Look at that. Oh, and one is perfect. We're gonna do that. And then pepper. But I don't see
Okay,
that.
black pepper, look up here.
Son of a
Oops.
sailor. I'm sorry.
Ain't no thing. Where's the black pepper, Lynn? Didn't you?
Lynn, should be up there somewhere.
Hey, Marvin. Oh, I see
Maybe
it.
Lynn? Yeah, there it is. Oh, you are filming. I didn't know you.
You're on it now.
Lynn said we can go in there now. They said they
You're going to be famous.
I see it.
I dusted the top. That's
Yep.
how I measure. I'm sorry that I have never really measured that.
That's all right.
I have heard stories that before my great-grandmother died, my mom would cook with her and watch her and then measure what she dumped.
Yeah.
If she baked or something, she would measure the handful or the sprinkle and try to get a recipe written down.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Now we're fixing to add everything in there that we cooked for it. Sausage, veggies, probably at least 3 more cups of this, and then that little cup of
Just water or more bouillon?
just water.
Okay.
Because,
All right.
you know, we're watching our figure and our salt.
Right, yeah.
I'm kidding.
That's where we're at on this today, right? All right, so back now into the pot goes our andouille sausage, our Holy Grail,
Holy Trinity.
Trinity.
Holy
Trinity. There's that.
Should we get all of that oil? Where's my chicken? Okay.
And tell them again about your chicken. Okay, this is your about 1.5 cups roundabouts or whatever of the
Yep.
broth.
There's about a coffee cup and a half, and I'm gonna add that in there, and then I'm gonna put enough water in there to make it 3 cups.
Oh, okay. Just put that in there and then add water to make it 3 cups. Okay, and look.
Chicken thighs.
How many was that?
It was maybe 6 or 8.
Okay.
These were kind of small, but it's fine. We
Anyway,
got
that's the
2
thing.
sticks of
6
sausage.
to 8 chicken thighs.
because dark meat is better. Period.
And
Don't
you got it in
argue.
big. It's in big chunks in there now.
You can shred it if you'd like. My mother, when she makes gumbo or when I make it for her, prefers that it's chopped up into chunks.
Uh-huh.
I dump it in there, and then when I turn it down and let it simmer, it falls apart. And
It's going to
perfect.
do that all on its own.
Do it on its
there
own,
you
'cause you're
go.
gonna stir
So
it
don't
about
worry
every
about
25
trying
minutes.
to.
I wouldn't, but you know, you might have toddlers hanging off of you. You might have teenagers
Right.
that need to get somewhere. Just dump it in there. It'll
Just
cook.
yeah, don't worry about that too much.
See, it just falls apart.
Right,
So every
right.
time I get in there to stir it,
It's going to break
fall
apart every more and more. Uh-huh. Okay.
But obviously, this ain't enough to feed everybody, so we're gonna thin it out.
All right. So now we're adding the 3 cups of water. Well, more or less. Yeah, we're going to see this.
I did it was about a coffee cup and a half, and then I filled this back up to where it was 3 cups.
Okay.
You may not want to add all that liquid. Dump it and stir it until you get to your
Girl, I
consistency.
like pot liquor.
Because,
I like me some pot liquor.
and that's it's personal, if you like it thicker, if you like it thinner like soup, you do you.
Oh my goodness, look at that, y'all.
Isn't that pretty?
That is looking
Okay, I'm gonna dump it off.
delicious. There you go.
Because
Go
Marvin
for
just
it.
walked in, so we're going to have to stretch it. Isn't it really? I'm going to tell y'all, I went and I have bought the ingredients for just gumbo many, many, many times. It's less than $50 to make this whole pot. And that's if I had to buy all the seasonings at one time.
Yeah, even the seasonings and
if I
everything.
had
Yeah.
to buy the rice, which I'm cheating today and using the success rice because you
And
can't
this
mess
is a
it
big
up.
old pot, y'all. This is going to feed some
All of
people.
us.
Absolutely.
Look how pretty. And
I
just in
love it.
case you don't know, don't eat the bay leaf. You cook it for a very long time, and then
Well, that's why you always count how many's in there, you know, if you
3
can
and
help
a
it.
half,
Yeah,
Tally.
3
Don't
and a
let me
half.
forget
Oh,
it was
Lord,
3
that
and a half.
bite of that one's in there somewhere. We're going to have to fish it.
somebody gonna have to just eat it.
Or somebody will find it. That's all right.
But I
You know.
always say, if you find the bay leaf, it's like finding the baby in the king cake.
Yeah.
The queen for the day. All right, we're gonna put the lid on. We're gonna let it cook
The lid's
For-
going on.
probably about an hour.
We're going to turn the fire down, let
Way
it simmer.
down, way down. We don't
And
want it
it's
to
going
burn.
to sit there and simmer for about an hour.
And then we're gonna show you how to eat it
All right.
the right way.
Good to go. Okay, see, it's coming along.
Probably like 30 minutes. We've been
Yeah,
simmering.
yeah, it's been sitting here
Simmering on
simmering
low.
for about 30 minutes. And
I'm just gonna remind you, don't eat the bay leaf. Take it
Yeah.
out. But we're not done simmering, so we're gonna leave it. You can simmer as long or as little as you like, and the longer you simmer it, the I guess
Just seems like
stronger the flavor is gonna
everything
be.
just.
My grandmother would keep it in this pot in the fridge, and then pull the whole pot out again the next day.
Oh,
I don't have that kind of room, so.
Yeah, me neither.
Plus, we'll typically eat it in a day, and sometimes this freezes like a dream. If you want to put it in a Ziploc bag
Yeah.
and lay it flat, freeze it in the bottom.
And then when you thaw, what do you do? Just let it just thaw and then heat it, or do you?
Girl, I
put
ain't
it
got
in
time for that. It's in a flat Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
And I'll use my knife and cut that sucker in half and dump the 2 big chunks of gumbo right back in this
Right
pot.
back in there, frozen
warm it
rock
up.
solid, and let it start heating.
Put it on real low and heat it up, and it turns right back into the same beautiful gumbo that you see right there. Look at that.
Excellent.
Look at those crispy edges on that andouille
Oh
sausage.
my goodness, we know that's going to be a good bite, don't we?
And see how my chicken is doing
Yeah,
its thing?
breaking up like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
I see.
I didn't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, just periodically, she's walked back over here and give it a stir just to check it, just to make sure it's not sticking or nothing. Because, see, we have the fire down really
Pretty
low.
And it'll
Really low under there, right?
just barely
Whoops.
bubbling. It's just barely
Just-
bubbling. So.
Yep. So just keep it covered and let her simmer.
And then eat it.
All right. So, it is ready, y'all.
I'm ready.
Check it out. Voila.
Okay, let me scoop it up, but in the right way. We have rice.
Amy's going to show us how to do it right, y'all. We got us a bowl.
Here's some rice. A little bit. So when my rice is done, I put a little chunk of butter in there. I didn't measure. It's probably 2 tablespoons. And I salt and pepper it.
Oh, okay. Butter, salt, and pepper in your rice thingy, okay?
You just want to cover the bottom of the bowl with your rice.
Okay.
It's a plate.
Look at that, y'all.
So yummy. And we're going to ladle that right up on top of this rice.
Look at that. Oh, my goodness.
Look at that.
Them boys fixing to have to check it out.
Delicious.
Now, Amy's going to show us, y'all. This is going to be, to me, it was the surprise. I can't believe it, but
This is how we eat gumbo in my family. This
look, y'all.
mustard
Potato salad.
right on top. This is filet. You can get it at H-E-B or Kroger's or anywhere else.
Uh-huh. Do
Hey.
some filet on there
Just a little bit.
and a hunk of bread.
There you
And this is Amy's gumbo, y'all.
Ta-da.
Hold on, let me take. Okay,
go. It's hot.
just a minute here. Okay, we got it now. Bubba, you gonna try it?
I ain't gonna be on no film.
Oh my word.
You know better than that.
Lynn, you gonna try it?
I'll eat it.
You don't want to be on no film either. They killing me, y'all.
Put her on a sugar on it.
Oh my goodness. Fine. I'm fixing to take a bite of it, y'all.
Well, there you go.
I know it's good. One of y'all better
All
try
right,
it.
here, Amy. You got it?
I'm gonna eat some directly.
Uh-huh. They just don't want. Okay, so I'm supposed to get me a little bit of. Ooh, it's hot, girl.
Yes, you can't carry it. It's hot.
But I want some of this here potato salad in it. What's the deal about the potato salad?
I don't really know. It's just what we've always done, and I think it might be what portion of Louisiana you're from, or it might just be that your family didn't want to dirty any more dishes.
I don't know, but
So
I
we put
heard
it right on
that.
the top.
Hey, I go for that.
That you know that makes sense and everything,
Yeah.
but
To me, it's the same as sour cream on a taco. It's like a hot and cold thing. But it's good, and it better be mustard potato salad.
mm.
Sure is.
Mm.
Both of them sound good, but I don't want both of them in the same bite.
That's just so good with it. I had
know,
no
right?
idea.
I can't eat it without now. I mean,
And it's got to be the mustard potato salad, right?
that's just my preference. I like a mustard potato salad, but it can be any, as long as it's super creamy.
I love it with it.
I think I got a couple puzzles.
Y'all.
Good.
This is delicious.
Thank you.
I am so happy
Yeah. You been reading
that we
the
did
books
this.
then, Rob?
Me too.
Read a few of them.
Amy's Cajun
That's
Gumbo.
what he does all day long, read books.
It's the real deal,
But
y'all.
we've been going to the library.
Y'all give this a try, okay?
Expensive buying those stupid
And
books.
Amy, thanks again
You're welcome.
for being here. Let me
Anytime.
see.
So every couple of weeks goes to the library and checks out 4.
Thank you for being with me. Whoop, my finger's in front of it. There we go. Thank you for being with me today.
You're
It's been
welcome.
great. And y'all remember, this is the first of my gumbo series. And this one is the real Cajun deal with a real Cajun girl.
It's the winner, Kuyan.
All right. We'll see you next time in the kitchen with Tally Faye. Bye.